Hi everyone, my name is Mai Mai, and if you're new to this channel, welcome to the channel. And today I'm gonna make a video about my experience during my green card interview. So if you're new to this channel, please subscribe, and if you have questions, don't forget to comment there, and I will try my best to answer your questions. Okay, I had my interview 3 months ago, August, August 26th of 2025, and it was really great and fast interview. And um, so let's start. The officer just asked me few questions, few basic questions, and done. So when you receive a notice, there's instruction there about the green card interview, and it says that you have to be there not more than 30 minutes. So don't be there too early, and of course, don't be late. And so when we came there, the USCIS office, or I don't know what it's called, but yeah. So we're there less than 30 minutes before our schedule, and I was with my husband, of course. So don't forget to bring your husband, guys, because it's really needed. And so when we were called by the officer, um, he said that because supposed to be the wife and the husband should have a separate interview, but the officers told us that, oh, just came inside the two of you, and so we're lucky, right? We're lucky that we were in the same room. Okay, so first, when we came inside the room, the officer asked um, our IDs. So my husband's ID and my ID. And so if you don't have any ID, passport is fine, because that's our the best ID that we could give, or just to confirm our identity. So next is the officer told us, but by the way, I was pregnant that time already. Okay, I was my full term, and I'm almost gave birth to our son, and so I will gonna be sharing to you some of or the questions that the officer asked me. Okay, first is, what is your full name? So of course, basic, right? So I have to tell my new name with my new last name. Okay, last name, the last name of my husband, of course. And then, what is your date of birth and complete address? So by the way, we moved to different address. So we moved to new house. So we before my interview, our interview, I mean, so we already changed our address through that instructions on their website. Okay, and yeah, I said this is my new address, permanent address. Okay, and then after that, the officer had a follow up questions. I mean, so first follow up question was, so the officer asked me if did I use another name other than my new name right now, which is I use my husband's last name, right? So my answer was no, because I was out of my mind, actually, because I used to say no during the visa interview. And so the officer asked me, "Are you sure? What's this name?" like he mentioned my maiden name, and I told him that, "Oh yeah, sorry, I use that's my maiden name." So technically, it my answer should be yes, because I use another name, which is my husband's last name. And then, but it was not a big deal. And so just a reminder, you have a maiden name and then you have a new name. Okay, a married name. And he said that so we moved to a different address, and so he asked me, "Are you sure that this is not your address and this is your new address?" Like he mentioned to me our previous address, and then I said, "Yeah, this is our new address. We just moved, last blah blah choo choo." And then I mentioned when we moved, and so he had a follow up question again, saying that, "Are you sure that you moved on this date, not this date?" And so for clarification, and just to make sure that you're really telling the truth, of course. And next was, what's your husband's full name? Okay, and then the birthday. I think just to make sure that you're really in a real relationship, or you are real married, new. about your husband. Okay, and so, and he asked me too that, have you been married before? And I said no. And when did you get married? And I told this, the date that we were married. And so, when did you arrive here in the US? So it means that when, remember that we have submitted the I-94. So whatever the date that's in that form, that's the date that we have to tell them. And so after that, the officer asked me the yes or no questions that are also in the what do we call this, form 485. So the same question that they ask, that's in the form 485. So it was a basic yes or no, yes or no. Maybe he asked me 10 yes or no questions, and that's all. That's all. And then he didn't ask questions from my husband. So it was like, okay, you're approved, And my husband was saying like, oh, we bought a lot of documents here to prove our marriage, and you didn't even ask me. You didn't ask us about documents or supporting documents. And so just to prepared just make sure to bring all the documents that you have, just to make sure that if they ask supporting documents, you have something that you could give to the officer, because it depends on the situation or the case, or it depends on the officer too, if they're gonna ask supporting documents or no. But in our case, he didn't ask us supporting documents. Like, we brought a lot of documents. And aside from that, you have to prepare yourself. Of course, you have to prepare your clothes and everything. And I was pregnant that time also. And since we submitted we applied for adjustment of status, I was already pregnant that time. And luckily, and actually, the officer told us that we submitted more than enough documents, because we submitted the ultrasound of our baby, my pregnancy and everything. And that's a big chance that you're gonna be approved. And so, if you are pregnant, even if they didn't ask that documents, please include that to your photos or documents that you're gonna be submitting when you apply for adjustment of status, because it's a plus. Okay, it's a plus. It's really a big plus that could that helps the officer or the USCIS decide decide about your case. And so that's a big tip, right? That's a big plus if you submitted something that they didn't ask, which is a big proof that your marriage is real. Okay, and so yeah. And what else? Like, we're done within 10 minutes, I think. And it was, oh, okay, the officers told us that, okay, you're approved, your green card will be delivered, if not this week, gonna be next week. So I received my green card 1 week after I got approved from my AOS interview. And so that's all. And if you have questions about USCIS, or if you have questions regarding this video, don't forget to just comment, and I'm gonna answer you with all of my best knowledge, and I'll be back. And so please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, so that if I have new videos, you're gonna be able to watch and updated. And so thank you so much for supporting, and bye bye, God bless.